All right. Well, I am sitting here having my protein bar before I get ready to dig into this program I'm doing. You may not be able to see this because with video, it may be backwards. This is Westside Barbell's Conjugate Club Beginner's Course. Let me tell you how I got into this. Well, let's rewind back to 1998, 99, okay? I learned about Westside Barbell Club, the max effort method, the dynamic effort method, and the repeated effort method, or the repetition method, okay? And that's how they train in conjugate training, conjugate periodization. And I trained in that for several years. I was successful at a few powerlifting meets with it, and my beard is all jacked up today. I went to some powerlifting meets with it and did pretty well. Well, then in 09, I was in Afghanistan, and I jumped on board with the 531 program, which is a good program. But the problem was I kept screwing it up, and I've kept screwing it up for about 15 years because I chronically train too heavy with my assistance work. My accessory stuff is too heavy. I'm really bad about that. And so it's kind of, my bar speed was terrible. See, now when you're doing Westside, you're doing dynamic work. If you've ever done it, it's done for speed, and you know it's for speed, so you don't give a crap about how much weight's on the bar. Well, when you're doing accessory work in 531, it's also for bar speed, but for some reason I was getting wrapped around the axle with the poundages and trying to go, and I just kept messing it up. And I said, well, golly, what did I used to do? And I heard this many times from Windler and other people. What did you do when you used to be strong? If you used to be strong and now you're not, what did you do what was the first thing that got you strong? Well, it was conjugate periodization. So, to make a long story short, I got on Westside's program again. I started reading the articles, and I joined the Conjugate Club, and I downloaded what I thought was a beginner program, and it really wasn't. I made the mistake that a lot of trainers make, a lot of people training make. I call it the heroin addict mistake. Okay, when someone is using drugs, like illicit drugs, and they build up a tolerance to it, and then let's say they get clean or they get sober, whatever, and then they fall off the wagon and they decide to go back to using, they will attempt to use the same amount of drugs they used when they were last using. It usually kills you. That's what happened to my little brother. That's what happened to a lot of people. So, you built up this tolerance, and you're taking these big old shots of heroin, or you're eating these big old mouthfuls of pain pills. I hate to use drug analogy, but it fits here. Or alcohol, or whatever it is that you were used to using a lot of. In this case, it was a lot of training volume, or you were able to train in a way that your body could tolerate, and you've been away from that for several years doing something else, and then you jump back into that, and even though you think you're doing something you can tolerate, it's still way too much. So I went in and said, well, let's watch their conjugate beginner program. I thought it would start off, I had no idea that it was going to start off where it did. So what this program does, it takes you back to what's called a bro program, a bro rotation. A bro rotation is what a lot of guys in the gym do when they train 5 and 6 days a week. They go in and they do Monday's chest, Tuesday's arms, Wednesday's back, Thursday's legs, Friday's shoulders, or whatever. They train like 1.5 body parts a day, or one body part a day actually. And they treat the arms as one body part, even though it's triceps and biceps. So they call that a bro program, because that's what a lot of young meatheads do. They want to go in there and bodybuild. They want to train their chest with 16 sets in one workout. Well, The reason that at Westside they do that is they want to get your volume up. They want to build your GPP up, your general physical preparedness, your overall stamina. Eventually, they're going to get rid of that body part training. You're going to do that body part training for about 2 months, but then you're going to go into training the specific lifts, the squat, the bench, the deadlift. Okay? And when that happens, you're going to switch to 4 days a week. 1 day being devoted to max effort training on upper body, 1 day being devoted to max effort training on lower body, 1 day being devoted to dynamic effort training on upper body, 1 day devoted to dynamic effort on, where did I leave off? Lower body. Okay. Upper, lower. One's dynamic, one, a max effort workout for lower, a max effort workout for upper, a dynamic effort workout for lower, a dynamic effort workout for upper. And then all the accessory stuff that goes in that just builds muscles, like the meathead stuff. Dumbbell bench for 3 sets of 12. Belt squats for 3 sets of 15, whatever, okay? But before you can do that, you've got to have general physical preparedness way below beginner level. And that's where I was. And I thought I was more advanced than I was because I'd been away from it so long, and my age and some other factors made me realize that I'm not as advanced as I thought I was. So I am doing this bro rotation, and today is shoulders. And it's going to have, it's not tough. It's seated barbell press. Instead of standing up to do overhead press, we're doing it seated. Then we're doing dumbbell overhead press, and total of 7 sets. Dumbbell front raise, dumbbell side lateral, dumbbell upright rows. 2 or 3, and about three sets of each. And yesterday was barbell curl, dumbbell curl, barbell skull crusher, dumbbell skull crusher, and cable push down with a bar. That was yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be pull-ups, rows, lots of face pulls. Not a big deal. But it's 5 days. But the idea is you use a low enough weight that you can tolerate all this volume. Because if you do this too heavy, if you load up your military press for 4 sets of 12, like you would if you were training it with lats, no, you won't make it through it. Your shoulders will be screaming. You won't be able to do it. So you've got to back the poundages off. The goal here is to get through the whole workout. It's not about the weight lifted. It is about the weight lifted. You don't want to just, put on something on there. It's like lifting a piece of paper. On the same token, you want it to be challenging. You want to get the burn in a little bit, you know what I mean? So you don't use tons of weight on this because this is a high volume, high rep program, okay? So the leg day is going to be quite demanding. It's going to have 4 sets of squats. It's going up to 10. It's going to have 4 sets of leg presses going up to 12. It's going to have lunges, or I like to do lunge walks. It's going to have a dumbbell Romanian deadlift, which can be done 2-handed or 1-handed. I think they want it done 1-handed in this case. And then some planks. I hate planks. I might substitute sit-ups. I don't know yet. And then the last day is chest. It leads off with incline press, dumbbell incline press, flat bench press, and machine pec flies. I don't have a pec machine. I'll probably do dumbbell flies lying on a bench. But anyway, so this is 5 days, and then you take Saturday and Sunday off, come back and do it again. And you do this for 3 weeks. At the end of that 3 weeks, you're going to go into this one, which is almost identical to it, except it's going to incorporate drop sets to failure on the last set. So in the last set, you go for a set of 10, drop the weight by 40 to 50%, and keep going without a rest until you hit muscle failure. Now, their description of muscle failure at Westside is way different from yours and mine. It don't mean go until it gets stuck in a spotter's got to pull it off. It's wait until your technique breaks down to absolute crap, or form breaks down, or you can't lift the weight, or your form just breaks down to absolute crap. That's positive muscle failure, and that's what and at that point, exercise is over, move on to the next one. Now, from what I gather, this is a hypertrophy program, hypertrophy and stamina / GPP. So if I do the first one without the drop sets for 3 weeks, and then I do the next one for 2 more weeks for a total of 5 before going into phase 2, which I haven't read phase 2. They tell you watch the videos as you do it. I may sneak a peek at phase 2. If I do this like I think I need to do, I'm going to be ravenous. I'm going to be eating a lot. I'm going to put on about 10 pounds of body weight in 5 weeks. I'm going to go from about 237 to about 247 or 250, which is exactly what I want to do. And we'll see how it goes. Okay? So, I am Lonnie Watson, also known as Sergeant Claus. You're here at the Task Force Gym, and I'm about to get busy on all this shoulder hypertrophy work. All right? You have a blessed day.